Hello, Mrs. Amin. My name is Abel. I will be the nurse practitioner assisting you today. It's a pleasure to meet
Thanks.
you. How are you feeling today?
I'm doing well, thank you. You can call me Saro. This is my husband, Patel. We're just here today because my son wanted me to get a physical.
That's a great son you have there. What made him worry about your health?
Well, he's concerned because he's aware of my family's history with cancer. My mother and two sisters passed away suddenly, so I think he's just worried that that's going to happen to me as well. But what's done during a physical? I'm not really sure what that is.
Oh, that's great. I appreciate your son's concern in regards to your health. So, a physical consists of checking your overall health and running some preliminary exams to ensure that your health is where it's supposed to be. We actually wanted to make sure that everything is normal because I do see here that you checked off having a family history of cancer. If you don't mind me asking, who in your family has had the cancer and what types of cancers did they have?
Well, my mom and two sisters had cancer. My mom and one of my sisters had breast cancer, and my other sister had ovarian cancer.
Well, that's exactly why we have you here today. Because I do want to make sure that you are healthy and that everything is normal considering your family's medical history. If it's okay to ask, did your mom and two sisters beat the cancer?
No, unfortunately, they didn't. My mom and two sisters passed away within about a year of getting diagnosed.
Well, I can't imagine how difficult it must have been for you and your family to have to go through that. I'm really sorry for your loss. Were your mom and sisters diagnosed here, or do you know at what point were they diagnosed?
Well, They weren't diagnosed until it was too late. They all found out after experiencing severe health concerns, so they didn't have any time to undergo any treatments.
I see. Well, we do offer simple screenings during your physical that can help with early detection of these types of cancers so that we may have preventative measures. That's why we would like to give you a breast and pelvic examination today as a part of your physical.
No, absolutely not. Why should I have to do that? I'm not sexually active. I don't have any plans on having any more kids. So what will I get out of it? There's just no point for that.
Okay, well, just to have a better understanding on your viewpoint here, is there a reason why you don't feel comfortable with these exams?
Well, personally, I don't feel comfortable with this, but let me see what my husband has to say about it. After speaking with my husband, we both decided that it's not necessary, and I agree with him. There's no reason for me to undergo these tests, especially considering my current lifestyle.
I understand. However, I believe a pelvic and breast exam would greatly benefit you, but your family too. Your mom and two sisters had these types of cancers, so you are at risk of developing probably the same exact types of cancers. If we're able to catch these symptoms early, your chances of beating the cancer would increase tremendously.
Well, just because my mother and two sisters had it doesn't mean I will have it too. Like I said, I don't feel any concerning symptoms and I try to be healthy. I exercise regularly and follow a vegan diet.
Well, oftentimes there aren't any noticeable symptoms with breast and pelvic cancer. So we have patients that don't realize that they have cancer until it has advanced to stage 4 without even knowing. This makes treatment much more difficult. Therefore, you have a much higher survival rate if you do a yearly pelvic and breast cancer examination. So, by doing a yearly checkup, it would also be giving you and your family a peace of mind. Your son is obviously concerned that you may be at risk for these types of cancer because he knows what happened to his aunts and his grandmother. So perhaps we can at least take some steps in easing his concerns.
Well, back home in India, we value our husband's opinions, and he's just not comfortable with someone else performing a pelvic breast exam on my body, especially because they're such intimate areas. I just want you to understand that in our culture, we have a great deal of respect for our husbands. He's the head of the household, you know? So if he doesn't think that it's necessary for me to undergo these exams, then I just don't feel comfortable.
I see what you're saying, and I completely respect you and your cultural beliefs. I don't want to push you or Mr. Amin to do something that you're not comfortable with. Our hospital does consist of doctors and caregivers from many backgrounds, and all of us alike would want you to get the best healthcare possible. We would just like to accommodate your situation and still provide the proper care that your wife will receive. So, Mr. Amin, do you both feel comfortable if your wife met with a doctor that had a similar background? Or maybe you both would feel more comfortable meeting with a female clinician?
Well, I just don't want her to have these exams if she's not going to have any more kids. There's just no point in having her do this.
I see, I understand. However, like I said, sometimes with cancer, you may not feel symptoms at all, particularly with ovarian cancer. I am worried about your wife's health because she is at risk for developing both breast and ovarian cancer, and I would like her to do the examinations just to be on the safe side. Maybe we can compromise and find a mutual ground.
Well, what do you have in mind?
Well, I've worked with many patients from different cultural backgrounds and beliefs, and I may not fully understand where you're coming from, but I do want to learn how we can resolve this and still provide the quality of care. I actually have had patients in the past who do have similar beliefs as you and were initially not comfortable with the pelvic and breast examinations. However, after reading through and understanding why it's so beneficial because of, the family history that some people may have, many patients begin to understand the importance of getting a yearly checkup as a way to keep track of their health. So, based on your cultural background, how can we approach this situation in a way that you and your husband would both be comfortable?
Well, is there a way we can do a similar screening that would require maybe a less invasive procedure? We just don't feel comfortable with my body being in a position that's so vulnerable or exposed.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Well, how about this? On a scale of 1 to 10, how comfortable would you feel if I asked you to do a self breast examination on yourself, perhaps in the shower or at home privately? This could serve as an alternative by having it done here.
Well, what would I have to do for a self breast exam? If it's nothing too invasive, then I think we would feel more comfortable doing it.
Well, it's actually very simple. What you would do is while you are in the shower or just at home, you can just take 2 fingers and feel around your breast like this and just see if you feel any lumps at all. I don't want you to get worried if you do feel any lumps because sometimes smaller lumps are normal, but please let me know if you do feel anything abnormal, such as more firm or solid lumps. I would still like you to contact me just so we can track and monitor your health and just to make sure that you're not developing any abnormalities as time goes by.
Okay, well, I think we'd probably be at like maybe a 9 with that. I think that's something my husband and I would feel more comfortable doing. That seems okay, but what about the pelvic exam?
That's great. I'm glad we were able to figure out a solution in both which you and Mr. Amin are both comfortable with doing.
How invasive is the pelvic exam procedure?
Well, the procedure generally takes about 5 to 10 minutes and it helps to detect some reproductive and health abnormalities as well as cancer. It may be uncomfortable, but if you would like, we can have a female doctor perform these examinations on you. Here are a couple of pamphlets detailing the procedures and its benefits. The first pamphlet is very informative because it talks about the benefits of receiving a yearly pelvic examination and why it's especially important for ladies who do have a family history of ovarian cancer to be active in monitoring their health. The second pamphlet, right over here, also goes over the importance of a breast examination. I mean, other than the fact that you can do it at home. These are important risks that, you should be aware of knowing.
Okay.
Please do not hesitate to call me if you do have any further questions or concerns, or if you change your mind and decide to schedule a pelvic examination.
Well, I'm not sure if my husband and I will agree or be able to do the cervical or pelvic exam, but considering my family history of cancer, we'll look over both of the pamphlets and discuss our options. Losing my mom and my sisters was really, really hard on our whole family, and I wouldn't want to have to put my son through that. So we may end up changing our minds, but we'll have to take them home and read them through.
Okay, that sounds good. I really do want you both to take this into consideration because I am concerned about your well-being and your risk for developing these cancers that both of your sisters and your mom have to go through.
No, I understand, and I really appreciate your concern. Thank you so much for for understanding and helping. And if we do have any questions, we'll follow up with you.
That sounds good to me. I definitely think that reading over these pamphlets will help you and your husband recognize the importance of the examination and how it will be beneficial to you and your health. I will give you both about 3 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks maybe. Does that sound good? To just look over these pamphlets and, read through the material. And after that, I will follow up with you and your husband to see where you're both at in regards to the exams. However, please feel free to call me on our telephone, our health service, or you can always call the front office and ask for me. If not, I will also provide my email on here, and you can email me if you have any other questions or concerns.
Okay.
Is there anything else?
No, I think that's it. You covered everything. Thank you so much.
Thank you.